This video is going to be incredibly short. I'm not even going to try to get your attention at the beginning with a hook. I'm not going to try to captivate you. I'm not going to even set agenda after the intro. I'm going to set the agenda right now. Today, we're talking about one thing, and that's compensation. Specifically, the 3 levers inside of a compensation plan. That's it. That's literally it. That's all we're going to go over today. Roll a super quick intro. Okay, so I'll be honest, when I made this entire curriculum, I went through, and I was thorough, I went through pretty much every single part of pre, during, and even post-sales that I could think of. Every single thing that I think anyone in any part of their career of sales would need to know. And I was reading through it like my 5th or 6th time doing my revisions, and I realized I talk about compensation a lot, but I actually never touched on comp plans. And if you're new to sales, it's pretty important to know how a comp plan works. How do you get paid in sales? What can you actually look for? What kind of leverage do you have in terms of playing with comp? Where are the levers that you can play with? And the reason this video is going to be so short is because it's actually really simple. There are the 3 ways that you can make income in sales, and each of them are pretty quick and easy to understand. So we're going to dive in. Number 1 is what we call a salary, a base pay. And you're not going to see this too often in sales. Sometimes you will on entry roles, or sometimes you will on high ticket B2B because commissions aren't paid out too often. But number 1 is salary, just a base pay monthly like you would get in any other kind of role for the work that you do. The one thing I will say is that when a compensation plan has a salary, just know that sometimes that can actually hinder you in terms of income ceiling when you're more skilled or when you're a better closer. And that's because salaries allow companies to be less aggressive with actual commissions or compensation on commissions because they have a salary. It's a safer position. The safer the position for the sales rep, the more leverage the company has in terms of how they pay out commissions. And so if you are more skilled, if you are more experienced, if you've been in sales for a while and rocking, you actually might want to stray away from offers that have salaries because you probably will have a higher average income if you actually just stick with commissions. But if you're starting, if you're new, again, not common, but salary is a great way to make sure that sales is safe, because otherwise you get into number 2, which is commissions, otherwise known as eating what you kill. Commissions are what 90%, 95% of your income will be in sales, but it's super simple. Out of the money that you close, out of the deals that you close and the money generated for the business, you get a percentage or a commission of that cash. Really common number is 10%. So let's say you're selling a $10,000 program, 10% commission for what you sell. If you sold $60,000 in a month, you would get $6,000 in commission. Really, really, really simple. I don't really have too much I can go into on that. Commission is just a percentage of the cash that you collect every single month, or the revenue that you generate for a company. The last lever is a lever that a lot of people don't actually talk about, but it can be a really big factor in terms of income, and that's bonuses. Or in the sales world, what you'll hear is spiffs. I've literally seen sales reps make 30 to 50 grand a month in spiffs by knowing how to play the bonus plan of a company's comp structure effectively. So they're nothing to sleep on. But the way to think about a spiff is that, let's go back to commission really quick. Commissions incentivize companies for sales reps to want to collect cash, which is the role of a sales team. A sales team, their goal is to revenue generate, to cash collect. And so the reason commissions are so obviously aligned with that is because you are paid on what you collect, which is what the company wants you to do. Spiffs are how they do that in different ways, or in sometimes more micro kind of ways. So let's say, for example, on a car dealership lot, that they want to sell one specific car because it's been sitting on the lot for a while and it's costing them money at this point. What they'll do is they'll spiff sales reps to try to sell that car. So if you sell that car, you not only get your commission, but you get a little bonus on top. The way that works in the remote world is that, let's say a company is not very liquid. Their cash reserves are a little low. What they might do that week or that month is actually spiff cash collected. And so if you get to a certain cash collected percentage or a certain cash collected for the month, you might get a spiff or bonus for hitting that. On the vice versa side, maybe a company is actually cash heavy right now, and they want to make sure they're cash heavy in a couple months because they're about to invest in some things. What they might do is they might spiff units or revenue generated. And what that means is they're actually less focused on how much cash you collect, but how many units you get through the door with payment plans or with funding. And so down the road, they know they're going to get what they need. And so they're incentivizing the long-term plan of the company through spiffs. But knowing how to play the bonus structure or knowing how to play spiffs in sales can really double or triple the amount of compensation you can actually make on the team. But those are the 3 levers that you're going to see inside of comp plans in sales. As you start to grow inside of companies and you get into leadership, then yeah, you can get into profit share or revenue share. But for now, 3 things: salary, commission, spiffs, or bonuses. Those are the 3. Those are all you have to work with. Super short and sweet module. In the next lesson, we're actually going to be going over how risk tolerance and risk levels play into comp plans and how you can start to play with those levers based on what we call the golden ratio. I will see you in that lesson. I'll see you in a second. Literally, this video is so short, guys. Just go to the next module. And don't look at this one as the one you have to watch for the day. Get into the next module too. Watch the next one after this. I will see you there. Until then, and it shouldn't be long because it should be just a couple clicks of the button. Until then, happy hunting.